once you are in your initial stages of your career, you are being less exposed and with a lesser knowledge. But if there is a zeal that I want to learn more, I want to grow more, because everybody after some point in time has a goal. Data analytics is a very interesting field, as well as I would say a growing field, where there are a lot many new tools and technologies are getting bombarded into ecosystem every day. So I never rest
Okay.
behind learning multiple tools. I should learn a tool A and then tool B and then tool C and then armor up myself and then polish it on my resume. But yes, it involves a lot of reading. Without reading, uh, you are not going to grow.
Okay, so welcome to exciting episode of Babel Live India podcast. I'm your host Priya Rathod, and we are having very special guest with us, Akash Verma sir. First of all, dear audience, I just want to say कि आपको क्या लगता है सेल्फ स्टडी बेस्ट है या नहीं, तो इसके लिए डू कमेंट। एंड सेल्फ स्टडी एंड क्लासरूम स्टडी में क्या बेस्ट है, आप इसके लिए कमेंट करें और बताएं कि सेल्फ स्टडी के साथ सेल्फ स्टडी बेस्ट है या क्लासरूम स्टडी बेस्ट है। So, sir, welcome to our podcast at Babel Live India.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah,
so
so
much.
sir, I just want to ask the question. I just want to know your journey from the academic to professional journey. कि आपने
Okay.
आपका ये सफर कैसे तय किया। आज आप एक बहुत अच्छे सॉफ्टवेयर सॉरी आप एक डाटा एनालिटिक्स है, तो आपने
Yes.
ये सफर कैसे तय किया, आपकी एकेडमिक जर्नी में सेल्फ स्टडी का क्या रोल रहा।
Hmm. All right. So, Priya, first of all, let me thank everybody from the Babel India team for organizing this podcast and kind of letting people know about my professional journey right from the very beginning since 2012. So, I'll start uh, from where I started and where I'm placed as of now. Uh,
ओके।
I did my engineering from NIT Bhopal, and in the year 2012, I graduated in the field of information technology. Now, at that point in time, uh, IT industry was making a lot of progress into multiple industries, right? Be it your
ओके।
e-commerce, be it your banking, be it your insurance, any industry you pick, there will be a kind of a massive demand for technology people. But at the same point in time, there was also a sideline and a parallel demand growing for data side of things, right? And
ओके।
that gave me a kind of an interest also, I would say, because I was very uh, deeply interested in number crunching and all of those things. So I thought, why not let me try my hands into the data side of things. And from there on, when I started my journey way back in 2012, I was always keen in learning anything which would help me grow in the field of data analytics, right? uh,
ओके।
Initially, it used to be a basic number crunching, reporting, and dashboarding, which I believe is the right path. And eventually, it all boils down at this point in time that how are you able to kind of relate any number or a metric with a business proposition in the industry you are trying to work, right? Because number in itself, standalone numbers won't tell you a story behind it. But if you are able to relate a number with a metric, uh, or maybe with a business problem, then it becomes interesting to kind of again scratch the surface at deeper levels. So these kind of things were always kind of gave me a curiosity to learn, and not only from the technology standpoint, but also gave me an opportunity to learn different kind of industries, how those industries functions, and how we as a data analytics function can
ओके।
support everyone to be much more vigilant in their decision making. So that's all
ओके।
about in terms of my professional
या
journey.
Okay, so thank you so much for telling me about your journey. Sir, as I know, you have done with the designation of data analytics. You had done work with Milk Basket and Bink Limited also, and
Yes.
currently you are working with Telsup, right? So, what
Yes.
challenges did you face while transitioning between different roles in data analytics?
Okay. See, I would not call them as challenges. I would rather call them as an opportunities, because
Okay,
once you are in your initial stages of your career, you are being less exposed and with a lesser knowledge. But if there is a zeal that I want to learn more, I want to grow more, because everybody after some point in time has a goal, has a growth path set in his or her mind, right? That I want to reach to this particular level after certain point in time in my professional journey. है ना? Until unless you do not set a goal for yourself, it becomes goalless, and your journey becomes monotonous, right? But if you set a goal for yourself, it becomes interesting as well. So the challenges I would rather say was first of all because as you mentioned that Milk Basket as well as the Wing, these two companies are operating into different industries altogether. Milk Basket is a FMCG grocery industry, belongs to a grocery industry, versus Wink is a totally your song music platform industry, right? So these two different
yes,
industries behave differently, and it takes a little bit of time to understand how these industries perform, because the core principles of data analytics, irrespective of your organization and the kind of industry you are working into, remains the same. The only thing matters is or differs is how this particular industry behaves, right? So once you get a grip on those, it becomes easy. But yes, I would rather say not the challenges, but this gives me an opportunity to learn about different industry models as well.
okay. So, sir, how do you manage to balance work and continuous learning in the field of data analytics?
Okay, data analytics is a very interesting field, as well as I would say a rather mm, a growing field where there are a lot many new tools and technologies are getting bombarded into ecosystem every day, correct? But if you are able to understand the core principles of data analytics, everything becomes a secondary layer. So I never rushed
Okay,
behind learning multiple tools ki I should learn a tool A and then tool B and then tool C and then armor up myself and then polish it on my resume or my profile. I always stuck onto the core principles rather than learning behind multiple tools, right? um, because some or the other tool fails to deliver all the use cases which you are trying to solve, right? But if the core fundamentals are intact, I would say these tools and technologies are rather a kind of a smoothing functions, rather than adding any value to your learning curve. But yes, I always prefer learning on the fly, as in when you are stuck into a problem statement, uh, discuss it with your
okay,
peers within the same group, and maybe with your seniors. Try to gauge their thought process, how they would rather solve this particular problem, and then internet at this point in time is a savior for all of us, and just try to explore. So learning on the flow, on the go is what I believe helped me a lot, rather than sticking to a theoretical or a bookish knowledge, because theoretical or a bookish knowledge doesn't help in understanding the business application of the problem statement. Versus once you learn a or try to solve a problem statement on the go, it becomes easier because it also helps you to understand the business application.
okay. Sir, do you have any advice for the aspiring data analysts who want to
I would
keep
rather
their
say
career in this?
I would rather say there has to be a structured path in learning this particular field, because lot of information, I fundamentally believe in this principle of that a lot of information leads to no information, to be honest, right? Uh, so I would rather suggest that instead of trying multiple things, stick to a structured path, and then try to kind of explore any other thing. But yes, it has to be fundamentally at a core principles level. It has to be very sound. You have to be good in basic mathematics if you want to learn data analytics, as well as the statistics if you have the skills, or you if you have your interest in the field of data science, right? Because these two fields are entirely different. But yes, core principles, as again mentioned, learn tools, but do not only learn tools. Tools are just a kind of I would rather say a support for implementation. The core implementation differs, right? uh, Read different platforms, try to understand different business problems, how they are getting solved. But yes, initially, armor yourself with a tool and technology which will help you in the field of this. Have a good or a basic understanding, I would rather say, in the field of mathematics, right from linear algebra to basic probability statistics, so that the core principles remain same, and then kind of start jumping into other fields. But yes, it involves a lot of reading. Without reading, uh, you are not going to grow.
Okay. So basically, you have told us about the importance of self-study in your life.
Mhm.
With
Yeah.
help of self-learning and
Yes.
self-study, you acquired this position.
Yeah.
Sir, so in your views, how how can student aspire this position, acquire this position? What is the role of self-study in this?
See, I would say everybody has their own approach.
Yes,
An
sir.
approach which has worked for me may or may not work for somebody else, right? So everybody will have to kind of and this is completely trial and error kind of a process. You try one approach, you fail, you try different approach, then you may or may not succeed, and then you try a third approach. What worked for me was on the go learning. And I was very curious in trying to understand different business problems which can be solved, because that helped me in kind of broadening my horizon of data analytics, rather than not only looking in terms of let me create this excel or this dashboard or a report, right? So it purely depends that which approach you are trying to follow. But yes, have faith and have full confidence in the approach which you are trying to follow. uh, Try it for a couple of months, see if there are some results which are promising and you are moving in the right direction or not. And if things pan out, it's good. If not, then try different approach, because data analytics is completely different from the field of a software engineering, where there is already a structured set of steps. You follow step A, B, C, and then you are for sure going to reach at step D. Versus in the field of data analytics, there is no defined structured approach.